Frightmare weekend.
Okay. I'm not a doctor, but I play one on the Frightmare HQ.
Hey, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us on the
Ooh, do we have stingers now, Charles? I like stingers.
Today
I'll be back after these messages.
Today on Frightmare HQ, Lloyd contracts genital herpes.
Genital herpes.
Join us
as
he scrapes them off.
Whoa. That was like a joke that I had heard when I was a kid, like way too young. It was like a herpes joke. And it's very inappropriate. I'll tell it to you off air sometime.
Right.
I don't think anybody wants to hear my herpes joke.
I mean, you gave me herpes, so I guess
I'll tell
the
it to
least
you
I
off
could do
air
is
sometime.
listen to your herpes joke. I mean, what else am I going to do with my life?
Hey, man. A lot of people are infected with herpes, Charles, and we have to be sensitive to those people.
I've seen the commercials.
I'm standing up for the rights of herpes-infected people right now.
It's not my fault that you've had herpes since you were 7 years old, all right? It's
across
not my
the
fault.
country.
You got herpes across the country? How many places did you go?
Across
and
the country.
How many times did you get
Several
herpes?
times.
I'm excited.
Several times. Listen, guys, welcome to our horror show. Where we talk about herpes. Listen, guys, welcome to our horror
thing,
show.
Isn't it?
Where we talk about herpes.
Listen, guys, that's all I got. What happened?
Sorry. My Twitch came on and the Twitch was playing. We were playing and I was hearing us talking. I couldn't tell what was happening. I was like, oh my God, there's many voices.
We're not professionals, all right?
We're not pros.
Now, if you want to talk about professional movie watchers, yeah, I can be a professional movie watcher. But
there you go.
All this technomolecular stuff.
Technology. As Ollie G would say, technology. Booyakasha. All right, guys, let's get to it. Let's get to this. I see some people watching us right now.
Oh.
There are people watching us, Charles.
How many?
I don't know.
Because we only have one like on the YouTube video, so I assume there's one person watching.
I don't know. I see, what do you call? Because like when you're in the hundreds, you say, "Oh, we have hundreds of watchers," and when you're in the teens, what do you say?
We have teens.
We have teens of people watching us right now.
We have
Charles.
so many teens of people watching us live. You know, when you reach the level of teenness like we have, you just say, "What's my life? What have I become?
What have I become?"
I
tell you what we have become.
What is bread?
We have become people that several people do watch us, Charles, believe it or not.
I know.
And I'm going to say hello to those people because
I like those people.
I do too. I always like to say hi to these folks. And the first one on the list, as usual, guess who's the first one that popped up, Charles?
Travis Brown.
That is right, because Travis is one of our most loyal watchers. Thank you, Travis.
I love Travis. Travis is like my best good friend. Who doesn't love
Travis?
You know how Forrest Gump had Bubba, and that was his best good friend? That's Travis. Travis is my best good friend.
He's your best good friend. Well, Travis, welcome to the show. Todd Lewis, welcome to the show. Allie Tappa, welcome.
Allie. Frankenhooker herself is here.
That is right. Brad Bingham is here with us as well.
Bingham.
I almost read Travis again. Stephen
He's so
Burt.
Good. Burt making it hurt.
That's right. Ooh, Burt. Raven Rose is here. Howdy, Raven. Welcome.
Raven Rose makes the flowers grow.
That's right. Doodly-doo-doo-doo. Going down the list to Ashley Guillory. She says, hi, guys.
Ashley.
Well, hello, girl.
What up, girl?
What up, girl?
That's how we greet Ashley. What up, girl? How you doing?
What up, girl? Blah, 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 blah. Who else do we got? I'm going now. Oh, hey. Neil McElhaney. Hey, everybody.
McElhaney.
What is up, Neil? T West. Howdy, T.
Oh, T West.
T West is the best.
West is the best.
Tyler Burrows is here. He says, what's up, Wednesday night peeps? Howdy to all the Wednesday night peeps, right?
Yeah, Burrow. Make sure it's thorough. That's what I always say.
Chrissy Gilliland is here. JRE, Mr. Estrada is here.
Mr. Estrada.
Mr. Estrada.
You know who I don't see? I haven't seen in a while. Where is David Dugas?
I don't know, man. Is he
here? David? I'm calling him.
Michelle S. is here, though.
Oh, good. At least Michelle's here.
Yep. Meredith is here. Howdy, y'all.
Meredith!
What's up?
Where's my leprechaun mug?
My goodness. Oh, Dirk Jason Hall says, hey now.
Hey now. Dirk Jason Hall, the man. Now. I think we need one of these.
Is this what we call a stinger?
Yeah.
And today on Puppy Talk. That sounds like Puppy Talk music.
Excuse me. Sorry.
At first I thought that was an elephant. And then I realized that it was a really bad trumpet. All right, guys. So this is 1960 what, Charles? What year are we on?
I'm going to tell you guys, this is 1963. And I'm going to say again, after 61 and 62, Charles was getting a little bummed out because there wasn't much out. I struggled. And then 1963 was like this golden door opened and was like, hey, Charles, I got all kinds of movies to watch.
Dude, I'm going to agree with you. There were several great films, and I can't wait to get right into them. We even have tonight, Charles put together an honorable mentions video.
The return of honorable mentions. And not only do we have honorable mentions, we have 16 movies on the main list.
Yay!
16. So it's a lot.
That is awesome. Well, why don't we jump right into it with the first one?
Let's do it.
Of tonight. And this is a doozy, guys. This is a movie that everybody knows. A magician who has been turned into a raven turns to a former sorcerer for help. A former sorcerer. He's retired. First released.
Do you retire as a sorcerer? You're like, I'm done sorcering.
Yeah, I'm done sorcering. My days of a sorcerer are done.
Just gonna live out my days by the lake.
Right. Blue. First released in the U.S. January 25th, 1963. It is the American horror comedy The Raven, directed by Raja Coleman and starring Vincent Price, Peter Lorre, and Boris Karloff as a trio of rival sorcerers.
Oh, this is some Harry Potter shit going on here.
Expelliarmus
Frankenstein. Oh, Jesus. Let me tell you, I don't know. This is
Charles said, let me tell you, I don't know.
I don't know. Well,
let me tell you, I don't know.
First off, there's a lot of movies at 63, like I said, and I'm pretty sure every movie in some way, shape, or form has something to do with Roger Corman, Vincent Price, or Mario Bava. It's literally like they're either directors, actors, producers. It's just like, all right.
Well,
and this is one of the many times tonight that Roger Corman and Vincent Price are going to appear on our list.
They owned the 60s, sounds like.
They just walked in and flipped tables over and was like, man, it's my turn. I'm out.
Right. Dude, well, we are in. All right, so let's go ahead and roll the trailer for The Raven. How's that, Charles?
Yeah, let's roll it. I mean, it's The Raven. This is a I believe G-rated fantasy horror comedy. I think this was rated G. I'm pretty sure it was. I'd have to check, but
yeah, Mr. 80s, I want to say hi to Mr. 80s and Baby Blue TX over on Twitch.
What's up,
Mr. 80s said it's his mom's birthday today, so happy birthday, Mr. 80s mom.
To 80s mom. No, yeah, I mean, The Raven, you know, this is barely an adaptation of Poe. It's kind of funny with all these Roger Corman Poe movies. It's like they started off as like these kind of almost straightforward adaptations. They started running out of ideas and like, let's just call it something to do with Edgar Allan Poe. We'll call it The Raven.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Well, you know, this definitely. I mean, you can't really make a movie out of the literal point, the Raven. I mean, I guess you could, but
you could.
This is much more interesting, right?
Yeah, it is. But let me tell you, this is worth watching for the wizard duel in it. There's like a wizard duel in this, and you're like, even though it's rated G, this is not scary, or it's just fun. This is goofy fun. That's kind of what The Raven was.
Yeah.
Had a fantastic poster, a great cast. Even Jack Nicholson appears in this movie.
It's wholesome. Let's say that.
Yeah. That's a good way to call it. It's a good movie.
It's a wholesome movie.
It's actually a well-made movie, but a good one you can watch with young kids on like Halloween and stuff. It's one of those movies you can put on. You don't have to worry about something in there that maybe like a 5 or 6 or 7-year-old should be watching. It's rated G. It's fun. It's a good one.
It is a fun movie. I remember liking this as a kid also. This is just, I don't know, as a kid, this is, like you said, it's definitely a lot of fun. And it's a lot of fun now, too.
A lot of fun now. Like the other, works we see from Corman, the screenplay was adapted by Richard Matheson. So that's probably why the screenplay is pretty decent, because Matheson was a word god. He put words together into magicness.
Right.
This is just a great one. I mean, this is a fun one, and this is streaming on free with ads on Tubi, and you can rent it for $4 on Amazon and Vudu. I was telling Lloyd that we probably aren't going to tell you where a lot of Blu-rays are at this time, because the place we normally get those, which we love, called Blu-ray.com, for some reason decided to stop working, and that's too much work to find them. So without Blu-ray.com,
which is kind of sad, because blue-ray.com is one of my go-to websites, and I know it was yours too. So I don't know what's going on with that. I haven't had time to look it up and research it.
Yeah, it's blue-ray.com, but it really is the best resource for DVD or Blu-ray releases in the last 20 years, because it's got them cataloged perfectly. Unlike Amazon may show you something, may not show you something, but you don't know if it's a bootleg or when it was released or all the stuff behind it. So without Blu-ray.com, my knowledge of these movies, I just know off the top of my head some of them. So I put them in there. I was like, here.
Right.
Here, Lloyd.
So yeah, it's a good resource, because you could go in there and you could look for an official release worldwide. Mm-hmm. So you could check worldwide and see who put out whatever title. So it was a good website. I'm hoping that it comes back up as well. So everybody keep your fingers crossed. But yeah, we're just not going to go over a lot of where Blu-rays are, available at this point, because one of our resources is down, like Charles was saying. But
yeah, normally we do. But
there is a Blu-ray of this one, right?
Of The Raven, there is a Blu-ray of The Raven. It is on one of the Vincent Price collections. But I'm gonna tell you, the best release of this was done by Arrow Video. So if you guys are a region free people like I keep champion, it's a region B of The Raven from Arrow in the UK, is a fantastic release. It really is a fantastic release. As far as US release, I believe this was released as part of one of the Vincent Price sets, but I'm not 100% positive. When I actually looked for this one on Amazon for you guys, it just kept trying to make me buy the Region B Arrow Video copy. So I'm assuming it's out of print if it is.
Gotcha. Well, that would make sense. Okay, The Raven, highly recommended, of course. This is a classic film.
Classic.
Absolutely a classic.
Well, the next one is another classic, though. We can go on.
All right, let's do it.
You want to jump around? Let me grab this one.
Okay.
Because this is a good movie. I like this movie. Yeah,
I don't think I've seen it.
All right. Well, a mystery novel loving American tourist witnesses a murder in Rome, and soon finds herself and her suitor. Okay, how do you become a suitor? Never mind. I'm not stuck into this. She finds herself and her suitor caught up in a series of killings. This was first released in Italy, February 14th, 1963. It is the Italian giallo film, The Girl Who Knew Too Much, directed by Mario Bava and starring John Saxon. An alternative cut of this film was released in the United States under the title The Evil Eye. And most American people might know this as The Evil Eye because that's how it's always been released in the U.S. We have a poster up. This is actually the French poster for The Girl Who Knew Too Much. And this is an absolutely beautiful poster. Used to have an original one sheet of this same poster. I wish I would have saved it because now I can't find it anymore, but it's there. Great movie from Bava, though. I mean, this is the dawn of giallo, and this is a fantastically well-made film. This is actually probably one of the best films on our list tonight. This is
really,
this is a great movie. If you've never seen it, I'd really recommend it. This is early giallo, so it's a little different than what some people would know later on, but it's a great mixture of horror, sexploitation, and it's just it's just really, really good. This version, I'm gonna tell you guys the other one we talk about, Evil Eye. Evil Eye is what most people in America have seen. Now, Evil Eye was edited kind of weird. They tried to make it emphasis more on comedic parts of the movie. So they try to make it almost like a comedy thriller, but also they replaced the score in this, and Roberto Nicolesi did the score, and it's really great, but the US version had a score by a guy named Les Baxter that just sounds like, I don't know, any generic American score from a studio at the time. That's kind of what it sounded like.
Les Baxter?
Yeah, Les Baxter. Les Baxter was a good composer. He's okay. He's not the best, but he did a lot of stuff. He did a lot of old he did a lot of Roger Corman stuff for AIP. Like, I know he scored The Raven that we talked about earlier, and he did Panic in the Year Zero that we've talked about, Pin the Pendulum. Yes. So he's a decent guy, but didn't like the score for this. Later on, he did stuff like Frogs, all stuff in the 70s. Oh, yeah. He's kind of known to people. But, I don't know, this overall, if you haven't seen The Girl Who Knew Too Much, it's a great way to kind of kick off early Bava. This is a great one to watch. Don't go into it thinking you're going to be seeing like a 70s giallo film, which they evolved by that time period and they're a lot different. But this is considered by some like really one of the first true giallo films. But to me, it's definitely a key part of how giallo developed later on. But this is really, really good. I mean, Bava is known for great shots. We've talked about wide shots, beautiful emphasis on character development, and this really is that. Letitia Romaine is in this. She is a great actress. She does a great performance in this. She's one of those that you need for a movie like this because her acting is so good that it really helps you develop like a feeling for her character. So when things are happening, it really impacts you. That's the best part of looking for these movies.
Sweet.
Yeah, great movie. I mean, you've got a lot in here. Like I said, lots of different genres in here. But man, yeah, the regular version, man, with the regular score from Nicolasi is really good. It's super atmospheric score, so that's the one you got to watch. And I'm gonna say this is super, super great characters in this. I mean, this is great. And I mean, this is also one thing I've always thought about this movie that I was thinking again is I believe this is one of the few movies where Bava used like natural light a lot, because most of his lighting in his films is super, it's almost drenched in oversaturation, like super color. And this one seems supernatural, like realistic. So good shots. That's kind of different than some other Bavas. That's why I think it's good to kind of throw it in there to see his evolution of way he made films.
It looks like you can watch this one on Shudder right now, and Kino Lorber has a Blu-ray that we know about for $22 on Amazon, probably.
Yeah, they do have a Blu-ray. And this is actually on Prime as well. I noticed it's under the title The Evil Eye. So I'm kind of skeptical because I don't know which version these ones are showing. If it's The Evil Eye, it may be the American version, which is not the best version. Let's just say that. But
Just be careful anyway. Of which version you're watching. Gotcha.
It's a good movie, though. It's quite a good movie.
Quite a good film. I'm going to move to the next one, which I'm not familiar with either. I don't think I've seen this one. We do have a trailer, though, so we'll find out in a second.
Oh, this is another good one. This one's really good.
Okay. An evil spirit leaves the body of his human host, a criminal on death row. And he sneaks into the body of his next human host, a French magistrate. First released in San Francisco, February 23rd, 1963, it's the American supernatural horror film Diary of a Madman, directed by Reginald Labourg and starring Vincent Price, an adaptation of two short stories, Un Fou, The Diary of a Madman, written in 1885, and La Horla, The Horla is the translation, written in 1887. And I don't know. I want to see the trailer on this because I'm not sure if I've seen this one or not. I may have.
Roll the trailer. I mean, this is actually a really good. This again, we got Vincent Price. Vincent Price plays the magistrate in this. Great. Of course, Vincent Price is a great actor. He's Vincent Price, but he's real good at making his characters a little different, and he does great in this role. This is one that is on. Again, one of the Vincent Price books.
Wherever evil exists in the heart of man, the Horla.
Yeah, I was like, I couldn't see the trailer.
Would you like to know the secret of the Horla's mysterious power?
The Horla.
Come then with me.
I don't think I have seen that.
I will lead you into the dwelling place of evil itself.
Yeah, I mean, I tell you guys, I mean, this is a great Victorian thriller.
By the Horla.
This is very Hitchcockian. It is. I saw this a long time ago when I was a kid. This is almost like a. It's kind of interesting because it's almost like a retake on Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, almost, but like with a ghost. If that makes sense. It's weird.
With this.
But it has great set design. This movie has fantastic sets in it.
This man lives 1,000 terrors as a monstrous, unseen evil in
I recommend everybody, if you haven't seen this
carrying
movie,
him to the dangerous brink of madness.
Yeah, it looks great. I mean, it was filmed in Technicolor, so I mean, Technicolor is it's always amazing. More expensive process.
Think I would let your destruction be so simple?
This one has actually been kept pretty well. The Blu-rays releasing this are fantastic, but
she will die.
This was
not you.
Owned and distributed by UA, so I know United Artists always kept their negatives for the most part. So they're really good about that.
Everybody's saying that they love this album, Diary of a Madman.
Good album.
Second Ozzy album.
Yet in the midst of terror,
over
comes
the
the promise of
mountain.
ecstatic delight as beauty comes into its
It is a
Chrissy
good
said
album.
this one is so good, and Chrissy
lady
is.
to laugh with or without her clothes on?
I mean, great effects. I mean, the way they do a lot of effects, like we saw, with the eyes, the
and a
lighting
love
effects.
that he
which is great.
called sacred. Some men call profane.
Vincent Price knows how to rock a blue striped suit too.
You're making a grave mistake. Liar!
Nancy Kovac, I've always liked her. She's a great actress.
That's enough, Lucas.
One thing I'm noticing is that trailers back in the day seemed like they were a lot longer in the 60s.
Yeah.
I guess they had your butt locked into that seat and they were going to show you some trailers.
We're gonna show you some trailers.
You have a rendezvous with terror when you delve into the secrets of
Nancy Kovac is a great actress.
Diary of a Madman.
Kind of an interesting actress because her career didn't really go, which is kind of sad. 63 was a good year for her. She was in 3 movies in 1963. She was in Jason and the Argonauts that year. Did a great job.
I love that one.
She was in this, and then she did a Western called Wild Westerners. That was not that good. But after this, it kind of seemed like she was going to be you would think she'd become an actress, but she didn't. She did stuff after this, but not much. A lot of TV work. So good actress though. Great. One of the standouts of this movie. Yeah, I mean, if you guys haven't seen this one, I'd recommend giving it a watch. I understand that as we're going to the 60s, there's so many Vincent Price movies that it may get a little hard to be like, I don't want to watch 97 Vincent Price movies. And I understand that. I just say these are good ones. Space Out, one to put on your radar and to watch because it's a pretty good one.
Yeah. Well, any Vincent Price movie is great. Maybe except some of the non-horror stuff. I don't know. And there are a few of those out there.
Yeah, there's a few of those out there, but I mean, he did a voice in The Great Mouse Detective in the 80s, so there's that.
And that's cool.
That's actually, probably the best. Yeah, he's the best part of that movie.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Charles. So this one shows it's streaming on Prime Video and Epix.
Yeah.
And then you were talking about earlier, it looks like it's on the Vincent Price Collection 3, which you can get for $40 right now. And I do recommend everybody buy those if you can afford them. And you're wanting to see maybe some Vincent Price movies for the first time, or maybe you just want to revisit them. These are the way to see them, is those Scream Factory box sets. They did a good job of cleaning up all of those movies.
Yeah, they did a really good job. And it's some of these Vincent Price movies on that Vincent Price set is a lot of them, it's the only time you could ever really see them or even see them well. Like Diary of a Madman, for example, after this was released in theaters, and this movie only did like one run in theaters in the 60s. It wasn't released, I don't think, again until the late 2000s on a DVD. I don't think this ever even came to VHS. And, so I think a lot of my people, the first time you could see this was 40 years after it came out. And it's just because it was a movie that didn't do really well at the time and kind of was forgot about. A lot of these movies, they don't do well. They get sat on for years. And then somebody may run across a print and be like, what's this movie? It's got Vincent Price in it. Let's put it out.
Let's put it out. Well, the next one on the list is also a classic, Charles, and you have the honor of this one.
This is a movie right here. One of Charles's favorite movies of all time, right here. A wealthy San Francisco socialite pursues a potential boyfriend to a small Northern California town that slowly takes a turn for the bizarre when birds of all kinds suddenly began attacking people. This was released in the U.S. March 29th, 1963. It's the American natural horror film The Birds, produced, directed by Alfred Hitchcock, starring Tippi Hedren in her screen debut alongside Rod Taylor, Jessica Tandy, and Veronica Cartwright. It's loosely based on a 1952 story of the same name. A lot of people aren't aware of that, but this is based on a story of the same name. And one of my favorites of all times, this poster art is amazing. And this poster art is tattooed across the top of my leg. That's how much I love this poster art in this movie. And this is one movie that kind of shaped my love for horror. I saw this when I was really young. I was taken aback by this movie. I remember being young, just by how fun it was, but also at the same time how good everybody is in this movie. Because I mean, let's face it, Tippi Hedren was a phenomenal actress. She was like in this movie, she's like a borderline sociopath stalker, and it's plays so well. I love Rod Taylor. Rod Taylor is one of my favorite actors. He did so much great stuff back in the 60s. Guy I wish I could have met. He only died like 5 years ago. Really wish I could have met him.
He was the voice of Pongo in 101 Dalmatians.
Rod Taylor?
Yep.
He did a lot. I mean, and
I tell you, The Time Machine is one of my all-time favorite movies. I love that movie.
The Time Machine poster art's amazing too, and that's actually one that's planned to be tattooed on me soon. It's just a great poster art. But yeah, this is great. Rod Taylor, he's great in a lot of stuff. And he even did one of the earliest Twilight Zone episodes, When the Sky Was Opened. I think that was the name of it. But I mean, The Birds, to me, this movie is almost perfection, in my opinion. I love The Birds so much. The way it's shot, the costumes are beautiful,
I love how Richard Nettleton retitled it Tweety's Revenge.
Tweety's Revenge.
Debbie D has made a request, Charles. She'd like to see your tat of the birds.
Man, that's kind of hard. I can do it.
Get to it? All right.
It's
while
over
Charles
here.
prepares.
Hold on. It's hard.
Yeah.
Can you see it?
There it is.
It's right there.
Nice.
The birds. Okay,
that's Tippy. All right, there you go. Man. See, we fulfill requests, guys.
Yeah.
Sometimes. If we don't want to do it, we'll just pretend we didn't see the comment.
We're going to doing that too.
Richard says that something like this actually happened in the Bay Area. Apparently it had to do with something in the fish the birds were eating. Yeah, and Travis posted, he said, when my mom and I see birds grouping in one place, we think they're planning an attack. I think everybody thinks of that when you see a large group of birds nowadays because of that movie.
Yeah, I see that and I'm like, nope. I'm out.
It's too bad we can't get the sequel though. The Birds 2, Land's End.
Oh God, no.
Where can you watch that?
On VHS. I've actually got a copy on VHS here. If you'd like to purchase one, Lloyd, I'll sell it to you cheap.
It's pretty rare, isn't it?
It actually is, but it doesn't change the fact that nobody wants it.
Yeah.
It's one of those movies that's like, you're like, super rare, hard to find, $1.99.
Yeah.
Like here.
Can we stream this? Can we stream the Birds anywhere?
No. So the thing about a lot of these Hitchcock movies is they're not usually streaming, but this one you can rent it for $4 on Amazon or in Vudu. Now, there is a Blu-ray out there, but this has been released in 4K. You can only get it on the Hitchcock 4-movie 4K set, which was way overpriced. But this is actually going to come out on a solo 4K in May. So next month.
There you go. That's what you can pick up. Sweet.
Yeah.
All right. Well, The Birds is a classic. We had Veronica Cartwright at the show a few years ago.
And she liked my tattoo. I showed her my tattoo and she was like, that's amazing.
That's awesome. She was so sweet. I'd love to bring her back sometime. And then I think she's probably the only person from a Hitchcock film that I've ever met. I don't know about you.
Well, Tippy's still out there. Let's get Tippy.
I've tried to get Tippy before. It's not as easy as you think. She does. She'll do shows every now and then, but it's not very easy for some reason. I don't know.
I just want her to sign my leg so I could tattoo it. You know,
I'd bring Tippy Hedren in a minute if we could do that. Probably need to act quick though, because she's not getting any younger.
She's 91 now, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, she's still kicking.
Maybe we'll just bring Veronica back.
I love Veronica though too. I mean, Veronica is such a great actress.
Oh my God, she's in so many of my most favorite. She's in so many of my most favorite movies.
Yeah, I saw you when she came in. You were like, ah, Veronica!
Look, it's Veronica. No, she was in Alien.
Who's that scary man?
She was in Invasion of the Body Snatchers. She's in The Bird. She's in a ton of stuff. I can't even name everything.
I mean, don't forget she was
Pretty cool guest.
She was in Scary Movie 2. Don't forget that. That's a classic.
Was she in that? Oh yeah, she was. Oh my God, that's crazy. All right, guys. Next movie. You ready to move, Charles? You ready to go to the next one?
Man, let's do it because we got quite a few of these, what you would call films here.
We do have a few. All right. Next movie up. 3 teachers are treated to an afternoon of horror.
Wow.
When a maniacal killer interrupts their trip to Dodger Stadium.
Horror.
Yeah, exactly. We did the same damn thing. Let's do it again. Horror. Okay. Did anybody guess this movie yet? I'm not even through. I'm wondering if anybody's guessed the movie that I just read. I'm going to start over. 3 teachers are treated to an afternoon of horror when a maniacal killer interrupts their sexual escapades at Dodger Stadium. No, just their trip. to Dodger Stadium. First released in L.A., April 1963, it's the American exploitation horror film The Sadist, written and directed by James Landis. This film is loosely based on the killing spree of Charles Starkweather and was also released under the title Profile of Terror and Sweet Baby Charlie.
Sweet Baby Charlie. That's my nickname.
You know what? I might actually like this. I don't think I've seen this movie, but wasn't Charles Starkweather the serial killer that freaked out Stephen King as a kid?
I think so, yeah.
He used to keep a scrapbook of stuff. He's written about this, about Starkweather, just because it terrified him so much.
Did it?
Mm-hmm.
Did he scare you too?
It's not because Stephen King's weird or anything.
No. He's not a weirdo guy. What are you talking about?
I'm going to scare the hell out of you.
We're going to scare the hell out of you. Whoop, whoop.
All right. So this is The Sadist.
Yeah. So you said you haven't seen The Sadist, right?
I have not, Charles.
This movie is nuts. Let me just tell you that. This movie is yeah, this is a fun movie. So if you haven't seen this movie, this is pretty graphic for the time. There's a lot of stuff going on in this movie, but if you're one of the people who have seen it, I'm gonna be super excited because I don't know why every time I talk about this movie, people are like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
So far, that's what you're getting. Richard Nettleton says he said I seen it.
I seen it.
I ain't seen it. Travis Brown says he is sad, in quotes, to not know what The Sadist is.
Oh man. I tell people The Sadist is low budget filmmaking perfection. This movie's very, very low budget. I'm going to say, this is for the low budget. You're going to have some issues, but this is a surprisingly fantastic little horror thriller film.
Debbie D guessed it.
Debbie!
Now I'm looking back here. It looks like she guessed. She said The Sadist ? So, damn.
Oh, Debbie! Debbie made me so happy. Thank you, Debbie. I can retire now. I'm out.
I'm going to go ahead and start playing the trailer for, what is this called? The Maniac? I'm just kidding. It's The Sadist. I know what it is.
I hate you, Lloyd.
We have a trailer for it, right?
It's Sweet Baby Charlie. Yeah, we have the trailer for it.
There it is. Uh-oh, there's film reels rolling on this one.
You know that's serious.
Executive producer of a new motion picture, I Dare You to See.
Ooh, I dare you to see this.
Operated for 165 days, creating a new kind of realism, a suspense never equaled.
I dare you, Lloyd.
This contains.
This is
Richard asked if we can get Arch Hall Jr.
To the most terrifying 90 minutes
at Frightmare.
The Sadist.
I mean, sure.
Is he in this movie?
You can do whatever you want, because you're an adult.
Yeah, Arch Hall is in this movie. I don't know. Is he alive?
Twisted with mental anguish.
Yeah, Arch Hall, he's alive. He didn't really do anything else.
Sane or insane, but driven to shock and kill.
He didn't? Oh, he was in Wild Guitar.
So are you, Lloyd.
That was actually directed by Steckler, Ray Dennis Steckler. Wasn't Steckler the guy that was an asshole? They made a documentary about him. Boy, I'm going down a rabbit hole here. Yeah, about him being an asshole. Like he killed somebody, I think.
I don't know. I know.
Maybe
I know him as a director. He did what was that movie he did with a long title? Incredibly Weird Creatures Who Stop Living and Became Zombies or something. That's the movie he did. Yeah.
I'm thinking of the wrong guy. Absolutely. Sorry, I just said that Ray Dennis Steckler murdered somebody. I apologize.
He's gonna be like, what? What?
I don't know. I'm getting mixed up with something else. Somebody else.
I'm gonna tell you guys this movie is sort of known for its cinematography. People know this. It's known for the way it was shot and the use of darks in it and how great it was done by the cinematographer.
I think he's touching her boobies right there too.
He probably is.
Oh my goodness.
I do this all the time to people.
Oh, you knock women on the ground and touch their boobies?
Yeah, don't you? Yeah. So what I was going to tell you guys though is, like I was saying, the cinematography is fantastic in this, but the cinematographer in this was Velmos Vigman. So he has a really strange name. Velmos Vigman is how I know him, but went on to be one of the most acclaimed cinematographers of like all time. He shot The Deer Hunter, The Rose, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and Sugarland Express, Deliverance. He went on to do a whole bunch of movies as cinematographer, shot a lot of movies, and is generally regarded as like one of the best cinematographers ever. So this is one of those movies where, you know, you're getting somebody who's going to be fantastic in one of their really early works. And that's kind of one of the big things about this. But it's a fun movie. One I recommend people watching. It's a little more, it's raunchy. It's a little with stuff going on for this, you know.
Is it really?
Yeah, and I'm telling you, this is something that was obviously never going to be released a lot of places. You know, it only played in LA and the US, and it was never released in the US again. The Sadist, there never was a theatrical run for this. It did run in some other countries. I can't think of all time head, but it did run in other countries. But you know, it's shot in black and white. Really, really, really well done. It has been around for a while. And like I said, it left theaters, but this is one of those movies that was on VHS and DVD, you know, kind of back in the day. Lots of DVDs for this one brought out. And Code Red brought out a Blu-ray of this a few years ago. That's one of the better ones.
Well, I'm going to put that on my list. I see that it is playing somewhere that we like to watch movies at.
Where's that at?
Tubi. It's showing on Tubi. So put it on your list. Check this out on Tubi. Horror. Oh, sorry. Screwed that up. Horror. Tubi.
We need to record like a mid-roll where we just do that. Horror.
Yeah.
But can we be like can we look like news reporters from the 90s? Can we have our coffee cups and be like, hey?
Yeah, but I want the teeth twinkle effect where it just goes ting, ting.
No, you can't have it.
Damn it. All right, guys.
Look, I draw the line at tinging, okay?
No tinging. All right, guys. So that's The Sadist. It's showing on Tubi. You can rent it for $2 on Amazon. But why would you do that? Go watch it on Tubi. Or if you want to pay the $2, just send me the $2 instead.
Yeah, if you guys watch it on Tubi, go ahead and send me and Lloyd $1 a piece. You know what? We'll invest you in some of our long-term Frightmare HQ stock.
And Raven Rose says, OMG, Tubi is horror heaven. It absolutely is.
If you can get around ads, it absolutely is.
Yep. So there you go. What else were you going to say about The Sadist, Charles? Other than it's a very sadistic movie. It's a very sadistic movie, but no, well shot. Go check it out, guys. Fun movie. That's all I'm going to say about that. Okay, whamma-lamma ding-dong. We should have brought in a special guest to introduce this next movie, namely Paul at the Triffids Ranch in Dallas. The Sadist. Sadist. Necromantic. That's right. Okay, the next movie, Charles. This is yours. And I'm rolling it, man. You're going to love it. Love it. Love it. I gotta love this movie so much. This movie makes me tickle. Hey, Lloyd. Hey, you son of a bitch. You better put those headphones back on. I'm going to bust your booty, boy. Okay, we're ready. Hey, and while you're at it, guys, give us a thumbs up and go ahead and subscribe. And when you subscribe, hit that notification bell. That ding bell. The ding bell, so that you get updates whenever we go online or whatever happens, right? Yeah. Whenever we go online, you're going to know what's happening. But what's happening right now is another film, a film about some sort of a plant. It's not Little Shop of Horrors. It is a movie about something that happens after an unusual meteor shower, which leaves most of the human population blind. Ooh. Oh, but a Navy officer
must find a way to conquer the tall, aggressive plants, which are feeding on people and animals. Because in the Navy, we can sail the 7 seas in the Navy. Sorry, I can't.
When was it released?
Well, this movie itself was released in the UK first on April the 25th, 1963. It's a British post-apocalyptic sci-fi natural horror film called The Day of the Triffids.
Oh, yeah. That is a huge plant.
Steve Seckley and Freddie Francis, loosely based on a 1951 novel of the same name, also released under the title Invasion of the Triffids, as well as Revolt of the Triffids. And why not? We're also going to say this one was released under the name Sweet Baby Charlie, because that's every movie.
Sweet Baby Charlie plant.
Sweet Baby Charlie. All right, guys. Day of the Triffids. Go ahead, Lloyd. What do you got to say about the Triffids?
Well, the original title was The Day of the Triffids. But it's also known on IMDb as Invasion of the Triffids, like you said.
Yep.
It's got Howard Keel in it. We know that.
Does it? Oh, Howard.
It does.
Okay, Howard.
Yeah, big bad Howard Keel.
Is Udo Kier in this one?
Udo Kier is not in this.
I don't give a shit about them.
Yeah, exactly. Howard Keel did 10 years on Dallas, looks like. I didn't know there was like a remake of this too. 2009 TV miniseries, The Day of the Triffids.
There's a reason why you don't know there's a TV miniseries from 2009.
Yeah, there looks like there was a 1981 TV miniseries of the same name.
I don't know that one. Just watch this
that.
one. Just watch this one, guys. Just watch this one. All right.
It's about plants that attack you.
Yeah, that's what we like.
That's cool. And that's where our buddy Paul got the name for his gallery, where he grows carnivorous plants.
Carnivorous?
Carnivorous.
Carnivorous. That means you have to feed them people.
That's right.
They must like
or
soil
some
and
kind
green.
of flesh. I don't know. What do you think about Day of the Triffids, Charles? Is this a movie you enjoy, or?
I don't like it.
I don't like it. Okay, well, let's move on to the next one then.
All right, guys. Day of the Triffids has not been one of my favorites. A lot of people like this movie. This movie gives me the toots. I don't like it. There's something about it that kind of twists me the wrong way. I like the way it was shot, though. It was shot in 235 CinemaScope, which looks good. But I mean, I don't know. I guess, I really get hot when I see Janet Scott fight a Triffid that spits poison and kills. That's all I know.
Yeah. Okay, well, I just wanted to say thank you. Dirk Jason Hall did a super chat for $1.99. And it says, wait for it. That was his super chat. Thank you for the super chat, Dirk. We appreciate it.
Super duper. Dirk Jason Hall is the man of the hour. The man, the myth. You know what?
That is correct.
There's a huge following for Day of the Triffids. If you like Day of the Triffids, more power to you. Not everybody's going to like the same thing. I've never been a fan of this. And I know a lot more people probably like this than I do. I know this has pretty highly rated. Even on IMDb, this has a pretty high rating. I know it's above 6s or something when I looked, but you know what? It's all right. I don't know. Besides Howard Keel, I felt like most of their cast just what they weren't doing it too well. But this is one of those, I can tell people to watch. It's a fun watch. It really is a fun watch.
It's something you have to watch, as a horror fan. I think you got to check it out. There's not a ton of killer plant movies. There's some that are, very popular, Little Shop of Horrors, but there's not a ton of them.
Not a ton of them. It's
maybe
the 60s,
maybe the reason why is they suck.
Maybe. We might be alone in that. A lot of people like this. I hope that Paul from Triffids Ranch isn't watching this because he's gonna come and
he'll kill us.
Yeah, he'll feed us to the plants. But that's it though. That's Day of the Triffids, which This movie is kind of everywhere. Prime Video, Tubi free with ads. It's a whopping 99 cents to rent it on Amazon. Was this movie somehow public domain or something?
I want to say yes, that it was public domain. I don't know about now if they were able to recapture it. I don't know if they can even do that. But I seem to remember it being, public domain, and it used to be on all the public domain videotapes back in the day. So there you go.
Yeah, this one's been around a lot. This movie screened off and on in theaters for like 70 years, and then when home video became popular, this is one of the movies that was almost immediately first released. It's always been around. So,
Richard Nettleton says, "Wasn't The Ruins a killer plant movie?" Yes, it was, and
that's a good one.
It's a great one.
That one surprised me in the
theaters. I should have brought that one up. Yep. Yeah, that movie surprised me too.
I told you about The Ruins. When we talked about The Ruins, I was like, I got mad because I was so excited to go to theaters to see a really horrible movie. I was like, I'm going to watch The Ruins. This has got to be horrible. And I watched it, and I was like, son of a bitch, it was good.
Yeah.
Give me something else.
Chrissy, thank you for informing me of that. Once a film hits public domain, it's game over for them. I thought that was the case, unless you're Disney, and somehow Disney can keep their stuff from going public domain. They just pay billions of dollars, and they're able to keep the rights to their stuff. But okay.
Do they have Mickey Mouse walk in with like a briefcase full of hundreds?
I'm sure that's exactly what happens.
They're like,
"Where's the cocaine, everybody?
Where's the cocaine?" They're like, "Is that Mickey Mouse? Does he have briefcase full of money and cocaine? Wait, are those 9 hookers with him?"
He's Hollywood, baby. That's
sign movie back over to him. He knows how to party.
Oh, good call, Brad. He says Invasion of the Body Snatchers is technically Plants from Outer Space. Yes, it is.
All right, fine. Stop proving us wrong, everybody. All right.
Well, technically.
Technically,
that's okay. I'm absolutely. We said this at the beginning of the show that we weren't experts or something. What did we say? We definitely.
I'm not an expert. I'm not what you would call somebody that
knows what the fuck they talking about.
Know what they're talking. I wouldn't call me as somebody you'd want to say is a reliable source.
That's right.
Let's go with that.
Let's just go with that way.
Let's go with that. But hey, Day of the Triffids. You know what? It's an old school movie. It suffers a lot from, special effects. What you expect from these movies. I don't like it. If you like it, more power to you. But I'm probably never going to watch this movie the rest of my life. So,
well, and it's probably more of a sci-fi film than it is horror. But yeah, it is a horror film too.
It's a horror film.
That's right. Well, let's move on to the next one, Charles. The next one is mine. What do you say? You ready?
Oh, yeah, because this is a great movie, too.
Okay. A psychotic man attempts to drive his sister mad to claim her inheritance, but becomes deadly when an imposter intervenes. First released in Italy, May 1st, 1963, it's the British Hammer horror film Paranoiac, directed by the great legendary director Freddie Francis and starring one of our favorite actors, Charles and I, of all time, Oliver Reed.
Yes, he is. Oh, Oliver Reed.
Loosely based on the 1949 crime novel by Brat Farrar. I don't know why, but that name is his name is Brat. It's actually probably Brought Farrar. Farrar.
Shut the fuck up. I'm with you though. I love Freddie Francis. Freddie Francis is a great director, and he got most of his acknowledgement later on being a cinematographer. But he was a great cinematographer too. It's kind of funny because he, I believe he was a cinematographer first, then started directing for like a decade, then was a cinematographer again, then went back to directing. It was very strange, but this guy did a lot of films for Hammer and Amicus both, and this is one of the first ones he did. I mean, he went on to do The Skull and Evil of Frankenstein, Dr. Terror's House of Horrors, Trog. He did a bunch of other stuff too. I think he did Son of Dracula, didn't he?
I remember Trog. Yeah, I think you're right.
Lots of movies.
Paranoiac.
he came back in the 90s and did Dark Tower, which is one of the ones Vinegar Syndrome just released. But it's kind of funny because, like I mentioned, he got most of acknowledgement being a cinematographer. After the mid 70s, he left to just be a cinematographer and then won 2 Oscars for cinematography. I know one was for Glory, which was a great movie. And then I can't remember the other one, but going back to Paranoiac, though, this is a great movie. I mean, Oliver Reed's fantastic in this, but it's just Oliver Reed.
The dictionary says paranoia.
Really, really good. You know what? It's kind of one of those where you could possibly call it like
persecution,
like a psychological thriller almost, instead of a horror. But I'm gonna turn the horror on this. It's probably one of those same discussions we get in, like if like Silence of the Lambs is considered horror or is it just a thriller?
There's the man.
This is the
Mr. Reed.
family.
Yeah, Oliver Reed's still real young.
Beautiful young life.
He's probably already drunk there, though. He's drunk most of his life.
Look, he's got a drink in his hand right there.
Yeah.
Everybody, as soon as you start talking about drinking, there he is. Glug, 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 glug.
Yeah.
Scotch. You think he's drinking scotch?
Oh, he's drinking straight gasoline. It's gasoline. That's all he can drink.
Needed a constant attention of such an unconventionalness.
But this is a really well-developed film. And like I said, it does kind of almost fall into thriller more than horror. There's no monsters, there's no gore. It just it relies on how crazy the characters are and a lot of creepy atmosphere. And it sustains it for a very long period of time. Like, it is a long time. They keep you in like a clutch, like you don't know what's going on.
For 8 years.
All I know is he comes screeching up in that car, and it looked like somebody threw a bush on top of the windshield. And then when the camera went around to the other angle, the bush is not there anymore. That's the kind of shit that I'm watching a movie and it just takes me out of the movie and stuff like that happens. I'm like, wait a minute, where'd the bush go?
Where did the bush go, Lloyd?
Where did the bush go?
Where did it go?
Back then, there weren't rules about drinking while filming, so they used the real stuff, says Chrissy. Yeah, I believe that. Yeah. I didn't know that.
Well, Oliver Reed, probably. Oliver Reed does play a fantastic psychopath in this, though. He's a great actor in general. This is a good movie, and yeah, I think this is one of the.
You need to hit the brakes. You're about to go off the edge, girl.
Shut up.
Sorry, man.
Jesus. I was saying a thought. I can't remember what I was going to say.
I was saying a thought.
No, I always thought this is a very weird, out of place Hammer film because it's in black and white, which is different from a lot of the other Hammer films. You know, it's not really like a monster type character. There's no vampire or some sort of suspense occult. So it's kind of always it's off the beaten path for what other stuff Hammer was doing, you know. But
right.
Spotlight in this movie is the acting. Oliver Reed, you're gonna love Oliver Reed in this if you haven't seen this. Oliver Reed is like you don't even know if he's acting or if he's just insane. You never can figure out what
he's
Oliver
so
Reed
good
is.
Though, man.
Yeah,
I think one of my favorite scenes with him is the Cronenberg movie, The Brood. In the beginning,
Brood.
Where they start that movie off. He's just a maniac.
Daddy. You know? Daddy, I'm sorry, Daddy.
It's so uncomfortable. So
you
uncomfortable.
Call me Daddy. I'm sorry, Daddy. Call me Daddy. Okay. Daddy.
I need to watch that again.
All
right, so Paranoiac. Charles recommends it. Lloyd hasn't seen it. This is something that I need to catch up on.
Where's Charles Anderson going? Where's Charles Anderson going?
He had to go to another
event. What the hell's more important than us?
Oh, he's got one of those high society British events going on. He's gonna ride in on a coach pulled by horses and everything.
You know what? We got our people here. We got our diehard people here. It's all right. We got Brad Bingham here. We don't care.
We love Argento. He's just he's got some things to do. He's a high roller. We got to let him roll.
Gotta let those players play.
Gotta let the player play, baby.
Oh, Paranoiac. That's what we were talking about, right? All right, guys. Paranoiac is not streaming. It's not anywhere with ads, but you can rent it for on services, most of the services, Amazon, whatever you want to call it. This movie was, I know, released on Blu-ray a couple of times, and I believe you could still pick it up and not too expensive. I think it's out there. I don't have my source to tell you that, but I know this was released on Blu-ray. So
yeah, it's on YouTube to rent. Like you were saying, if anybody rents their movies on YouTube, they've also got it. So I don't see the price here, though. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you don't see the price.
I do not see the price.
Well, let's give you
Charles.
one of these.
Bam.
Horror.
All right, Charles. You are next up with the next film. This is also a classic that went public domain, too.
How sad that is, Lloyd. Yeah, what do I got next? A fun one. A scheming widow hatches a very bold plan to get her hands on inheritance, unaware that she is targeted by an axe-wielding murderer who lurks on her dead husband's family estate. This was first premiered August of 1963 in Indianapolis, Indiana, because Indiana.
Why not?
Why not? This is the American horror thriller film Dementia 13, written and directed by Francis Ford Coppola and produced by Roger Corman. It was released in the UK under the title The Haunted and the Hunted.
So with this movie and Paranoiac, what we're seeing here is the influence of Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho.
Oh yeah.
Everybody wanted Psycho type, films after that movie came out and made so much money. So I believe Dementia 13 was basically in direct response. We need to make a Psycho type film, if I'm not mistaken. This was written and directed by Francis Ford Coppola. I think this was his first ever directorial effort, right? As far as, something that
I think, yeah,
was actually
this
financed
very early and done. Yeah, because I think all he did was, I think he did something before this, but I don't think it was actual like release or anything. I'd have to look. But this was.
I'm seeing Battle Beyond the Sun, The Bell Boy, and The Playgirls, Tonight for Sure, all came before that. Not familiar with any of those movies, so this was an early Coppola film, though.
Yeah. So this is a weird movie because Francis Ford Coppola and Roger Corman did not see eye to eye in this movie. When Francis Ford Coppola finished this movie, this is early in his career. Francis Ford Coppola actually was working as a sound man on some Roger Corman films. That's kind of how he started. He wrote up this ideal and sort of pitched it to Roger Corman. Roger Corman, thought it sounded like a really good movie. Said, "Okay, let's make this movie." Kind of let, even though Coppola was like an early first time filmmaker, kind of left him on his own, kind of told him what he wanted. And when Coppola turned this in, Corman was really upset because Corman wanted a movie that essentially had enough gore and really sex and violence in it that would piss people off. That's kind of what he wanted. And that's apparently not what Coppola turned in, to the point where Corman sort of threw Coppola out at the end of this movie and hired Jack Hill to sort of fix this movie how he wanted. And that's, I don't even think he's noted as an uncredited director or anything. I don't know, but Jack Hill's a great director, of course. He did Coffee and a lot of those movies, Spider Baby, but so there was some disagreements on this. I liked this movie.
Jack Hill is credited as a second unit director.
Okay. He's just got some credit on this. He didn't do a whole bunch, but what he did is he he had to reshoot some stuff, and Corman had a bunch of people redub this movie to make a different movie. It's weird, but I don't know. This is a fun movie though. I kind of like this movie, even though it's weird. It doesn't feel really well made just because of some of the stuff they did to it in post-production, but I don't know. It's a fun movie. It's one of those movies a lot of people have seen, you know?
Yeah, and it's kind of a slow burn kind of a film too, so, you know. But I've seen it. I like this movie. I remember liking it, but it's not something that I feel like I need to go back and revisit or anything, you know. I feel like I got
That's
everything.
That's how a lot of people feel.
Yeah. So, but this was a public domain film too. This one was just as big as far as public domain was as Night of the Living Dead. It seemed like this one and Night of the Living Dead were always in competition about who could put the most copies of this out on videotape.
God, on VHS, Dementia 13, there was like 43 different VHSs of it, like Night of the Living Dead.
I don't doubt it, but
if you're one of those people. I know a guy who's been trying to collect every single VHS of Night of the Living Dead. There's so many. It's insane though. There's so many.
I mean, you may never be able to do that.
I think I probably brought out some Night of the Living Dead VHSs by Charles Productions. It was like, here you go.
Yeah, and you didn't even know it. So there's not a whole lot you can really delve into. I mean, you could with Dementia 13, but I don't know, I think that's kind of a boring thing, you know, to just sit here and talk about this movie, because if you haven't seen it by now, you probably never are going to. So there you
let's just move on to the next one.
There you go. The next one is something that I'm familiar with. A man in a padded cell. Yeah. A man in a padded cell tells of being shipwrecked on a foggy island and survivors slowly transforming into mushrooms. First released in Japan, August 11th, 1963. It's the sci-fi horror film Matango, directed by Ishiro Honda, loosely based on the 1907 short story The Voice in the Night. The film is also known under the titles Attack of the Mushroom People, Curse of the Mushroom People, Fungus of Terror, and for some reason in Turkmenistan. It was. I didn't even know that was like a real place, Turkmenistan. I've never heard of that.
It is.
So it was released on video as Zombie 14, Zombie Mushroom Zombies. Hey, I need a copy of that.
14 Mushroom Zombies. I need that in my life too.
Yeah.
Matango is one of the better and most atmospheric horror films I think ever to be dropped from Japan in this time period. It is such a great movie. Yeah, Matango. Lloyd, you still have to mention the 13 poster up, by the way.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Matango! Yeah. Attack of the Mushroom People! Matango!
What do we have for this one? Let's go ahead and watch the trailer.
We got a
for
trailer.
Matango.
Yeah. I can't get enough of this movie. This movie is so well done. It is so great. And it looks fantastic. This looks like a movie that could have been shot like 15 years after this. It's really well done.
Well, I've seen this and I love Matango. It's a crazy fun movie. How many people out there have seen Matango?
Yeah. Come on, guys.
Yeah, Richard Nettleton says, Into Mushrooms? Is this another plant movie?
That's a better one. This is Tango.
Okay, guys. My earlier, I guess I misspoke in saying that there was not enough killer plant movies. Obviously, there are.
Well, there's quite a few. Sorry, Lloyd. No, but yeah, this is, I like Matango, and Kumi Mizuno is her. Kumi, she is a fantastic and beautiful actress. She did a lot of, from Japan, she did a lot of Japanese films back in the day, and I love her in this. You know, she's So much fun. She ended up being in a couple of Godzilla movies later on in her career, early 2000s, like Godzilla Final Wars and Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. She was in that one. But she did a lot of stuff in the 60s. She was in a lot of fun Japanese films like Invasion of Astro Monster. She was in Frankenstein versus Baragon. That's a fun movie. You've never seen that one? I like her as an actress. I could talk about her. She did a lot of fun movies. Matango's one everybody should check out, though. This is a good movie. It's actually well made.
Yeah, it is.
It's very Matango, and it has a fantastic score in this one too. It's scored really well.
Hey,
I know
David Dugas just jumped in. We were missing you, David. We mentioned you earlier. Somebody we haven't seen in a while. Glad to see you, man.
We thought he left us, man.
Yeah. So anyway, Matango. So, what else?
Matango, man. Great movie, guys. Great movie out of Japan. One you should check out. It's available now. You know, kind of the sad thing about Matango is outside of Japan and Italy, it was never released anywhere else. And I'm fairly certain this movie wasn't released much at all. It came back, though. This is a Toho movie, too, guys. This is from Toho, the creators of Godzilla. That's what's fun about Matango.
Yep.
But yeah, this it didn't play a lot of places at all. And I think even after this, I don't recall if it was ever released on VHS. First time I ever saw this is when Something Weird Video brought it out, which may have been a VHS. I remember having a DVD of this, though. I don't remember. But besides that, movie that could be redone. There's a DVD out there of this you guys can pick up of Matango. I know that DVD. That's basically the only way you can get it. There's no Blu-ray that I'm aware of, and if there is, I'd be sad that I missed it. But Matango is one to check out. And good thing about Matango is you can watch it a lot of places, so do it. It's on Prime Video, right? It's on Tubi, free with ads, and it's another $1 rental on Amazon. Matango, and it's fun to say. Rolls right off the tongue. Matango. Hey, go. Lloyd. Hey, Lloyd, do you know anything about Matango?
Tomatoes? I do not.
Oh, you're so funny, Lloyd.
Oh. So the next one. We are rolling right along, guys.
Oh my God, we still got like 1,000 movies left. This damn year. All right.
Go for it, Charles.
This was a good one too. This is a fun one. Love my 60s Mexican horror. This is another one here. A young woman inherits a mansion only to discover that it is haunted by witches and evil spirits. That's a shitty deal. This was first released in Mexico, August 15th, 1963. It's a Mexican supernatural horror film called The Curse of the Crying Woman, directed by Rafael Baladon.
Baladon.
Baladon. Is that the Baladon guy? Baladon? I know
Curse of the Crying Woman. Oh yeah, this is La Lorna.
Yep. Curse of La Llorona. This is basically, it's the same thing.
There's some big ones.
You tell all the boys, come on. Ain't nobody special.
This looks good, Charles. I've heard of this movie, but I've never seen it.
Oh, you never checked this one out? Yeah, this one's actually really well made, you know. Good early Mexican horror again. You know, this is a good representative of early Mexican horror. This is shot in and all around Mexico City. Beautiful shot. It's got a weird aspect ratio, but as you can tell from the trailer, this is how it was shot. It was shot on 137:1, which is like television screen. It's like, it's the screen you do from television. So it's a very weird. Very weird choice of aspect ratio on this one,
especially for that time.
For that time, yeah. I mean, this was made really low budget, though. I mean, you can kind of tell. I mean, it was shot in black and white with mono sound on 137:1. So I mean, it's like somebody found a newsreel camera or something. Was like, I'm making a movie, doing it.
Yeah, well, that could be. They just did whatever was cheapest.
Yeah, but this is this actually is a really good movie. the guy who made this, Raphael, had a pretty good eye for some of these scenes. He used a lot of low angles that you can see in some of the shots in this trailer. And as a director, he went on to do a lot of stuff. He did a lot of stuff. All through the 60s. This guy, if you look this director up, I mean, he did like 100 movies, but I don't know any of them because none of the other ones, I know maybe one or two more, but it's all movies that were only released in Spanish in Mexico. I think I looked at one, it was called The Fantastic Butler when I translated it. And I was like, nah. I was like, I'm good.
That's odd.
I'm not watching that, but this is a really fun gothic movie out of Mexico. Great story, has a great, of this tale, of this lore of the curse of the crying woman, which, it's fun. It's actually shot really well. It's based on the Mexican legend La Llorona, like we say, which is another movie was made a couple years ago. But this is kind of the time that Mexico was kind of catching the train of horror. We saw some stuff come out.
Yeah, they did quite a bit in the 60s.
Mm-hmm. Good though. I mean, yeah, this is a unique film. I mean, this is a unique time of horror as well, but even more for Mexico. These are unique films because a lot of them feel almost experimental because Mexico was doing this stuff, but not to the effect of a lot of this horror stuff they were trying to do. And this does feel like it feels like a British Gothic, hammer horror type film, just all in Spanish, with Spanish actors. It's like, all right, it's good. But fun though, it's a fun movie. I think you'll like this. There's some good creepy scenes. There's some scenes where her eyes change that are really well shot. And I think, you guys will really enjoy this one. Unfortunately, this isn't streaming anywhere.
Bummer.
I'm sorry about that. It's not streaming even for rent or purchase anywhere. But this is available on I want to say a DVD. I don't think this is on Blu-ray anywhere at all. If it is, I'll be surprised.
Yeah, I don't think it is either. So
I pulled it up for you guys, and the DVD is out there. For some reason, the DVD is now $50. So I wasn't aware of that. I'm sure Lloyd's got 33 copies though in his basement. He's like,
yeah, I don't know about that. I'm pretty sure I don't, but it's one I'd like to see.
I'd say it's a good one to maybe look out. Maybe you can run across a used DVD or something. Maybe it'll pop up streaming at some point. If I tell people as you're getting into different countries in their horror, Mexican horror is a great area to study and follow those films yourself. And it's good to start in the 60s with movies like The Curse of the Crying Woman. You can see the evolution of Mexican horror up into the movies in the 80s like Don't Panic and those kind of movies. So great movie, guys. Great one.
Definitely. I'm a big fan of Mexican horror movies, so I will check that one out soon. If I can find it.
You can, maybe. I saw Brad was talking about Wrestling Women versus the Aztec Mummy. I was like, oh, I know that movie. Yeah. That's probably not going to be on our list ever. It was made in 64, 65. I can't remember. All right, we can move on to the next one, which is probably one people know.
Super well-known film. A doctor doing research to prove the existence of ghosts investigates a large, eerie mansion with a lurid history of violent death and insanity. First released in the U.S. August 22nd, 1963, it's the British haunted house film The Haunting, produced and directed by Robert Wise. It was adapted from the 1959 novel The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. This is a classic movie, as everybody knows. It's one of the most I don't know. It's one of the best haunted house films. Can we say that?
Ever. It is one of the handful of really great haunted house films. This was actually the story that they talk about
that it was based on. This is something that we actually read in junior high. Did your school require you to read The Haunting?
Mm-mm.
My class, it was required. We had to read it. So, but it was great. I had actually seen the movie before I read the novel.
That's cool. That's cool. I've never read it, but I know I like this movie. I know I like this movie a lot. You know, there's a lot of time and effort went into this film. This is a huge. There's lots of books and history about this one. What is that? That's the wrong poster, Lloyd.
Yeah, I just noticed that. Trying to find the right one. I'll find it.
Why'd you do it? But you know, The Haunting is really notable for its lesbian character in it, Theodora. It's very subtle, but you know what? It's one of the few Hollywood films of that time that didn't show lesbianism in a negative manner. It actually let it be you know what, I don't know, a nice part of the story, you know. Kind of weird, but like Hollywood back in the day, like the way they would depict lesbians was always very butch, you know. That's kind of what they would do. This is one of the first movies they actually let a very feminine character be a part of the story. That's a great step forward, I think, in filmmaking at the time. You know, it's a great step forward in filmmaking.
Yeah, it's pretty historic.
Yeah, nice to hear. And this is great. I mean, this is a great film.
Yes, it is. And this is another one of those movies that my mom made sure that I saw as a kid. She made sure that I did get to see this movie.
The Haunting? Nice.
The Haunting, yeah.
It's so great. I mean, yeah, it's just great. Yeah, it's just a great movie. It's kind of hard to say, but you know, a lot of people have said this, you know. I mean, Stephen King has even said this is one of his influences. You know, a lot of people have said that. There's yeah, I mean, there's just some great scenes in this. You know, it's just very haunting, the whole film. It's one of those you just have to watch, you know, one of those you have to just kind of throw in. I think it still holds up really well. Robert Wise is a really great director, you know. He's a great director. This is like I said, like we said, one of the handful of great haunted house films that are out there.
Yes, and a great novel for anybody that wants to go back and read some classic literature. It really is classic horror literature, and our teacher made sure to, you know, to point out to us how significant this film was, or not the film, but the book.
The book
was, yeah, it was a very significant film, and the way she wrote it, and just an incredible book, and the movie too succeeded in all the right ways too.
Nice. Yeah, Shirley Jackson, I know she also wrote The Lottery. It's a great story too. But yeah, I mean, great movie. It was Shirley Jackson, great story. You know, maybe I'll pick up the book and read it. But you know, this is just, yeah, it's done so well. If you remember, like a lot of the camera angles themselves are used to make the house seem weird, you know, the way they shoot things, the way they do things. It's fun, you know, the way it uses I don't know, just like the way it uses shadows. It's just a great movie. You know, it's great sound effects in it too. Just one of those everybody has to see. Has to see.
Apparently there's a movie called Shirley about Shirley Jackson. Didn't know anything about it, but it's got Michael Stuhlbarg and Elizabeth Moss as Stanley Edgar Hyman and Shirley Jackson. So it might be something that I have to take a look at. I don't know if it's a good movie or not. I'm just mentioning that it's out there.
Yeah, I know. I know Shirley Jackson. Shirley Jackson was you know, she's been cited as a huge influence on a lot of people. But I've never read Haunting a Hill House. I did read she did a book called The Bird's Nest. I think that was one of her early ones. That was a great one though.
Yep.
But yeah, The Haunting. I mean, I think it's what everybody's seen. I mean, what can we say about it that, you know, it's just just tell people it's a great movie. It's a great movie.
It really is. There's not a whole lot we can say other than where we can see it.
Where can you see it, Lloyd? Well, this one is on Hoopla. Hoopadoop. This is on the Hoopadoop only. And you can stream it for $3 on Amazon and Vudu. I do know that this has been released on Blu-ray. I believe this was a studio release Blu-ray, if I'm not mistaken, but I know it's still around for like $14 or $15. So it's a pretty good one.
And to Richard Nettleton, this is not the song by Outkast. It's not Miss Jackson. It's
sorry, Miss Jackson. Ooh.
I am for real. So, yeah, this is Shirley Jackson, famous American author.
Or maybe it is about her. Maybe that song's about her.
Sorry, Miss Jackson.
Maybe it's because they were scared when they were reading The Haunting, you know?
Never know. That may be. Somehow I don't think so, though.
Mm.
Charles, you got the next one? This is probably one of my favorites on the entire list tonight.
Oh, Lord. It's going to start now. I can hear it.
Yeah?
All right, guys. Boris Karloff hosts a trio of horror stories concerning a stalked call girl, aka a prostitute, a vampire-like monster who preys on his family, and a nurse who is haunted by her ring's rightful owner. First released in Italy, August 23rd, 1963. It's the Italian-French anthology film, horror anthology film, Black Sunday.
Sunday.
Black Sabbath. Black Sabbath, guys. Directed by who?
Mario Bava, who are Patreons. We just treated them to a Mario Bava retrospective.
Yes. That was fun.
That was
This
fun.
is the night when
but I love this one.
horror walk hand in
Oh,
hand.
Black Sabbath's great. Karloff is great in this
Black
movie.
Sabbath.
Yeah, really good. What's her name in
Starring the
this?
incomparable Boris
Jacqueline
Karloff,
Perot, I think is her name. Maybe she'll pop up.
the
She's a great
personable Mark
actress.
Damon,
Mark
lush
Damon's
and
in it.
lovely women.
Yeah, Mark Damon is in this.
Even though
Yeah.
one is from the netherworld, a vampire,
Fun effects.
a Bordelac, Black Sabbath,
Oh.
as ancient as superstition, as modern as the telephone.
How nice you look with that towel around you. You always did have a beautiful
Yeah.
body.
How nice you look with that
The
towel
word
around
alert.
you.
Hey, girl, you wearing a towel? Yes, I'm wearing a towel.
I just
see you.
remember every time if you,
I see you.
You've watched the Italian language version of this, right?
Sabbath,
Yeah.
the bare
Every time
truth
she
about
picks up the phone,
unbelievable,
she says,
such
Gronto.
as the
Gronto?
brilliant beauty of a
Gronto.
priceless jewel
Gronto?
that holds within the body of
Gronto?
a buzzing fly, vengeful woman's
Gronto?
murderous spirit.
Gronto.
Gronto.
And she says it a lot because there's like this dude calling and harassing her on the
Gronto?
phone.
Only on the seventh night of the
Gronto?
seventh
Yeah,
moon can the living see
Gronto?
the lifeless undead.
Yeah, I mean that's the
Is
yeah,
he
that
mad?
segment. Telephone. Telephone, you know, yeah, I'm saying it may have inspired another movie called Scream, you know?
Yeah, very well. Ashley
An
says make sure to
adventure
watch
into
the
black
Italian
magic that
version
goes
of the
beyond the
telephone
boundaries
segment.
of the supernatural.
Or it makes no sense.
And a man's devoted
Gronto?
love is welcomed by a woman's
Gronto.
deadly lust
Gronto?
for his
Yeah, there's
blood.
two versions, and if I'm correct, you can buy both versions on separate Blu-rays. So you can buy the Italian version on one Blu-ray or the English language version on another, if I'm not mistaken. I say buy them both. I love this movie. But you do, like Ashley said, you want to watch the Italian version. For sure.
Yeah, you want to watch the Italian version. The US version was not as good. Let's just say that. I'm gonna go with
I don't remember all the differences. It's been, a few years probably since I watched it last. But
so they did
there
a lot
are
of
a lot of
stuff in
differences.
this. AIP did a lot of stuff in this. AIP rearranged the segments of the movies,
Yes.
segments of the stories. They edited out some of the scenes they found to be too graphic for American audiences. The telephone part was completely redubbed, and apparently it was dubbed to make it more supernatural and to disguise the lesbian overtones. I actually just saw that it popped up. Yep. They said, not in America.
What was going on in 1963 with lesbians, man? They were,
I don't know,
finding their selves, right?
Man, we know who made the best lesbian horror movies, and that's Jess Franco. And we'll get to those later.
Exactly.
Those are great movies.
Yeah.
But no, Black Sabbath is great. I definitely say you want to watch the regular Italian version, but watch them both, because I tell people when stuff's done like this, I like to see all the versions that are cut of things, just to see how things are different.
Sure.
And taking it the time, taking it the
That's
time.
That's why I said buy both versions. It's a good movie, so buy them both.
But man, Karloff is great in this. Karloff is really great in this.
He is. Karloff, I don't know. Karloff is Karloff, but yeah, he is fantastic in this movie.
Yeah. He is fantastic in this movie. And you know what? It's just a fun one. It's pretty much what you want to say.
It's probably not, everybody probably knows this, but it's also the inspiration for the band Black Sabbath. This is where they got their name from this movie.
No, Lloyd.
I just revealed trivia.
Trivia.
All right, so did we talk about where this is playing yet, Charles?
I got it on Thorn-Amiya VHS over here.
Thorn-Amy.
Thorn-Amy.
Shudder, Pluto
Let's
TV.
Watch this.
And
it's everywhere.
Rent it for $1.99, and then there's like a bunch of Blu-rays. We said that.
There's
right?
49 different Blu-rays. Each one is either at least 1 or 3 minutes longer and/or shorter.
Yeah. So. All right, moving on. We are wrapping up tonight's list. We're closing in on the final entries. Next up, a man arrives at a small village to visit the house he inherited from his ancestor who died there 100 years ago. First released in the U.S. August 28, 1963. The film is The Haunted Palace, directed by Roger Corman and starring Vinnie Price and Lon Chaney Jr. Although marketed as Edgar Allan Poe's The Haunted Palace, the film actually derives its plot from the case of Charles Dexter Ward, a 1927 novel by H.P. Lovecraft.
What?
The title The Haunted Palace was simply borrowed from the 1839 poem by Poe.
You don't say.
Palace.
The Haunted Palace.
Right. So, yet again, another Roger Corman film that is barely based on an Edgar Allan Poe film.
So, let's take the title. There's this guy over here called H.P. Lovecraft. They're never going to know the difference.
Yeah, they don't know who this guy is.
They don't know who this guy is. We're out of here.
I put the poster up earlier, but here it is again. The Haunted Palace, Vincent Price, Deborah Paget, and Lon Chaney. There's Lon Chaney on the poster, but is it Junior? It is, right?
And this one it was Lon Chaney Jr. Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. They didn't put the Junior on there. Look at that.
Because he wanted to be known as
Anybody know
the
why?
Man.
I bet you I know somebody who does know why.
Lon Chaney Jr.
Brad Bingham. Why, Brad? Why did they put him on the poster as Lon Chaney and not Junior? Somebody has got to tell me that. Somebody that I'm sure knows.
Do they know, Lloyd? Do they know? Yeah. So this is a fun movie. I like this movie. Now, this, if I'm not mistaken, at the time, it wasn't when they were developing it, not to be a Poe movie. It was going to be called something else. But American International at this time, this was like the 8th movie that was going to be Edgar Allan Poe's whatever. And they were making so much money on that tagline being added to these movies. They were like, everything is Edgar Allan Poe presents now. Everything.
That's right.
They go to space. It's Edgar Allan Poe's in space. If it's Slipping on Bananas, it's Edgar Allan Poe presents Slipping on Bananas. That's every movie. In space, part 6.
This isn't one of my favorite movies of all time. But it is something that I think horror fans ought to see. What do you think, Charles?
Yeah, I think this is good. I don't know. I think it's pretty good. I kind of like this one. Now, this did because Chaney's really, really good in this. And and then
and what else do you know about it?
I don't know much else about this movie. That's why I'm just stuck with it. I can tell you I've seen this movie. I think the story's good. I know the story from Lovecraft. It's basically that story with a Poe title in it, you know. This is one of the I think it's a pretty decent Roger Corman film, but you know, he was cranking out these something by Poe movies at the time. You know, we talked about this, and it's not like a wonderful, you know, shooting the time movie. Woo! But it's what am I gonna say, Lloyd?
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, I don't think there's a lot to say. This one is streaming on Prime.
Lloyd's like, there's not shit to say. It's on Prime. Go watch it.
Yeah, it's on Prime, so go check it out. The Haunted Palace.
I know a lot of people really like this one, so you guys may really love it. I know a lot of people say it's like one of their favorite gothic horror type films. I'm not on that bandwagon, but you may love it if you like these movies a lot. So give it a try.
Boom. All right, Charles. Let's go to the next one.
Boom.
You're next.
Boom. This is a fun one too. A sadistic nobleman terrorizes his family, but the relief that the family members feel upon his death is short-lived when his ghost continues the reign of terror. Holy crap. The ghost is coming to Buggins. What do we got? Yeah, this was first released in Italy, guys, August 29th, 1963. It's an Italian-French gothic horror film called The Whip in the Body, directed by Mario Bava under the alias John M. Old. So he directed this under an alias. This film was actually later, it was heavily edited and poorly dubbed in English and released in the U.S. under the title What? It actually is called What with an exclamation point. So what?
What?
And what? And in the UK under the title Night of the Phantom. Whip in the Body. Whip in the Body. Say it, Lloyd. Whip in the Body.
And the body. I
don't
know.
Know.
This has got who's the guy on the poster in this one, Charles?
Whip in the Body. Whip it good. Whip in the Body. Sorry, what?
There we go. Well, let's play the trailer.
Okay. I've already done my Whip in the Body dance. So.
Oh, this is an Italian.
Yeah, it's an Italian. It's a damn Italian movie.
Who is this guy on the poster? The guy with the whip. Who is that? Is that Christopher Lee?
Christopher Lee's in this movie. Yeah.
Okay.
Christopher Lee's in this.
I haven't seen this in forever, though. I know I've seen it.
Yeah, it's one of those fun movies where Christopher Lee's in it, but his voice is done by somebody else in Italian, and then he didn't revoice himself when it was done back in English. So it's just Christopher Lee with somebody else's voice the whole time.
It looks like there's a Kino Blu-ray this out too.
There is. Kino brought this one out. Really great Blu-ray. And to tell you guys how horrible the other versions they made were, this movie, I think they cut it down to an hour and 15 minutes in the US, hour and 14. It's like an episode of ER. They're like, all right, guys, we're out. Yeah, you know, this is a weird movie. Like I said, one of the only, not very many, there's a handful of movies Christopher Lee did that his voice isn't on any language tracks for this. And this is one. I mean, you watch this movie, it's Christopher Lee, but it's never his voice, no matter which version you're watching.
It's obviously not. Super obvious.
I love
had a great voice.
It'll trip you up, though, if you watch the English dub version, because it's in English. You're like, what the hell's wrong with Christopher Lee? Do you have a cold?
I think I've only seen the English dub. I don't think I've ever seen the Italian.
That's probably why you didn't like it.
Might have been.
I mean, it's a weird movie. I don't know why Bava had an alien and a pseudonym in this. You know? Do you know? I don't know why.
No.
Yeah, I was like, I literally have I have no idea why. Like, I've always wondered that. I've just never been able to figure it out. Baba is great, and I'm telling you, this is one of the best performances by Christopher. Even though it's not his voice at all, he is really great in this. It's this sadomasochist S&M guy. You know, it's just like, it's pretty much what this movie is.
I don't know, but I looked up John M. Old, and it pulls up on the side on Google. It says Mario Bava, and then it has a picture of Vincent Price. It's like, why is Price there? Okay, whatever. I guess they just went, well, I can put Price's picture on there.
That's gotta be him. Are you sure that's him? That's him.
It's Bava. La Frusta el Corpo.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. Christopher is a standout in this. Even though it's not his voice or anything, he's a great actor. You can tell from his performance, his movements, and he's really got this down. The rest of the cast, you can tell, are a little amateurish. Not very well done. But you won't care with this because, I mean, I think this is one of Bava's masterpieces. This is a great movie. It's a fun movie. Really, Bava is like, you know, we talked about earlier, you know, the movie that was a subdued Bava film. You know, this is not subdued. This is very, very, very colorful. You know, this is very colorful. We talked about, what was the other one? Girl Knew Too Much. And that's completely polar opposite. This is super colorful film, one you would think of Bava, you know? And we're on the third movie of the year for him. So there you go, guys.
He was a busy man around this time.
He was a busy man. Whipping a body. I can't. I like the way that sounds. I'm whipping a body.
Whipping the body. All right, Vincent, next up, we're going to go to the next one. We've got Benny showing up one more time.
Oh, the fifth time.
Actually, not one more time, I don't think.
Nope. I was like, he's not. He's like, I think we got another one after this.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So Vincent Price hosts 3 chilling horror tales based on stories by Nathaniel Hawthorne, another author that I really dig. Released in the U.S. October 30th, 1963. It's the American horror anthology film Twice Told Tales, directed by Sidney Salko. I don't know who Sidney Salko is.
You don't know Sidney Salko?
But this is
a lot of movies.
Yeah, I don't know who he is. Twice Told Tales. It's an anthology film. It's a great anthology film. I have a soft spot in my heart for anthology films, and I really dig this one. I like this one a lot. This has which story in it that I remember? I do. Okay, I'm looking at the list. It's Dr. Heidegger's Experiment.
Dr. Heidegger's Experiment,
Rappaccini's Daughter.
House of the Seven Gables, right?
And House of the Seven Gables, correct.
I mean, yeah, this is a great movie. Now, definitely Sidney Salko is a director you guys should be familiar with. He did a few movies, but he did Last Man on Earth after this, which is a great movie. Last Man on Earth from '64. He directed that. And then he did some gunfight movies in the 50s. Gun Brothers and Gun Duel in Durango. Those are good movies. And I'm with you, though. I think that this is one of the better made anthologies. This is a really good movie.
It is.
Twice Told Tales. It's great.
It's a lot of fun. And like I said, soft spot in my heart for anthology films. I think they're some of the best. I think horror is told really well in short format. I think, I mean, I really do think that horror, that's true for horror. You agree, right?
Oh, definitely agree. I mean, I think that if you can accomplish a nice arc like that in a short amount of time, you can make a really fantastic horror story. You know, you can develop it out. So, Twice Told Stories, man. Great film.
Twice Told Tales.
Twice Told Tales. Twice Told Tales is a great movie. There's a Blu-ray that came out of this from Kino Lorber, right? I think Kino brought this one out too, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe you're right.
But
it's got Sebastian Cabot in it. And I don't know if you guys remember Sebastian Cabot, but he was also in The Time Machine. He played Bagheera the Panther in Jungle Book, and he was also in a TV show called Family Affair, which for some reason, when I was really little, I remember I used to watch this all the time, and I liked that show, Family Affair. So
Family Affair?
Yeah, he was the big guy. He was like the butler with the beard and everything. I think he's in Dr. Heidegger's Experiment.
Yeah, he's in that movie. He also did a lot of voiceovers for Disney in the 60s and 70s.
I mentioned the Jungle Book. Yeah. And then, like you said, go ahead.
He did Sword in the Stone, too. He was the narrator, if I'm not mistaken. And you said he was Jungle Book, too, right? You said that?
Jungle Book, and then I'm looking at IMDb. It says Winnie the Pooh and Tigger 2. He was the narrator in 1974 on that too. So yeah,
he's full of poo.
If anybody remembers this guy, he was also in looks like he was in a episode of The Twilight Zone called A Nice Place to Visit.
Nice Place to Visit. He was. That's where I know him from.
Yeah.
You know, this is a drive-in movie. You know, this is something that's fun to watch, too. You could throw it up, you know. Old school horror movie. I mean, this is old times, you know.
Yep. Good stuff, though.
Yeah, all the stories are good. You know, so most of those anthologies, you have like, you know, one of the movies is not as strong. One of the stories, you know, this one, all three of them are really strong. Really, really done. I mean, really well done. And yeah, I've always enjoyed this one. I saw this one, you know, way back in the day, but good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Great stuff. All right, man. So we got one more on the list chart. Well, let's tell everybody we can watch this one first.
Oh, Twice Told Tales is on Prime.
Yes. So, and Epics too, I see.
Ooh, nice.
If you have an Epic subscription, you can watch that right away.
Is it free anywhere? I don't remember.
Just Prime.
Oh, just Prime.
Yeah,
well,
looks like it.
Whoopity doo, guys. Kino Lorber did have a Blu-ray this week. Whoopity doo.
All right, man. So
we got one more, guys.
Yes, last one on the list.
All right. A dishonest undertaker and his sidekick decide to create their own customers when they cannot find willing ones. First premiering Christmas Day, 1963 in Detroit, Michigan. It is the American horror comedy film The Comedy of Terrors, directed by Yokis Daner and starring who else but Vincent Price, Peter Lorre, Boris Karloff, and Basil Rathbone. They just made all these movies. They're like, all right, let's roll with it. We got a trailer for this one. This is a fun movie. This is a ridiculous, fun movie. Very slapstick, you know?
Yeah. I like this one a lot. Again, we got Peter Lorre, Vincent Price, and Boris Karloff together.
Karloff, Basil Rathbone.
Screenplay
was done by Richard Matheson on this too. He was working a lot then, you know, but not a lot of comedic stuff like this from Richard Matheson, and it's fun to watch. Really well done.
It is. And comedy, like we know, when done right, can do really well and mixed with
woman is overpowered with
had several examples of that. It can also be terrible, but I think this
both the life he lives and the lives
I think it worked really
takes.
well. And another one that didn't become popular till later on. This movie was a bomb when it came out. It was not well liked, and then you know later on it really gained a following. People liked it. It was shown on TV a lot. It was on VHS.
Abundantly blessed.
I think people learned to appreciate it. I think this style of horror comedy was a little ahead of its time. It was stuff that became big in the 80s, about the time this movie started becoming popular on the rental circuit. You know?
Unholy horror.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think it was ahead of its time, for sure.
Amazing.
Yeah, I don't think people knew what to do with it. You know, they were like, what?
Yeah.
And inimitable Basil Rathbone.
Basil Rathbone. Yeah, I'm here again, guys.
Whose wrath will slash
I remember
you
Vincent Price's character has the best name in this. His name's like Waldo Trumbull. Like I'm gonna change my name too.
Yeah,
his next
you're right. It's Waldo.
Waldo Trumbull. I'm like, yeah. I think that was I think that was one of my email aliases when I was a teenager, like on chat rooms. I think it was. I think I used Waldo T, and it came from this.
Waldo T. That's
Waldo T.
When the dead persist in living.
You're here because you're dead, Mr. Black.
The hell I am.
Your favorite creeps together again. Absolutely.
This is fun. Yeah, great and sensational actors. You know, the four of them are just great.
Oh yeah.
And again, great year for Vincent Price. I mean, he was in Well Form in every movie. He was in 5 movies. I think we talked about for this one 5. That's a nice chunk, and he's great in all of them and different, doing his own spin on all these characters.
Yeah, well, Vincent was the master, so I miss him so much, so much.
Do you cry at night because he's gone?
Absolutely, I do.
I do. And I think about you, Lloyd, and I get happy again.
So obviously, this one seems like it was probably the same studio. What is this, MGM on these? Probably, because they're both on Prime and Epix.
Are they?
Yeah, so they're probably. I think they're both in the MGM library, but
maybe I know back in the day, all these movies were released by AIP, American International Pictures, and they went defunct like 1980. Who knows? So who took them?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
MGM.
they ended up in it with MGM.
It is. I see it here, folded into MGM. There you go.
There you go.
That's why it's on the same streaming services and available. So it's out there.
That's awesome. Well, we covered some classics tonight. Definitely, I think this was an improvement over 60, 61, and 62. I think this is a better year.
What do you guys think? You agree with us? Better year?
Exactly. We want to know what you think. Let us know. Was it a better year?
I think it's a pretty good year, man. But it was
Charles,
such a good year.
Give away anything?
We got honorable mentions. I was going to give away a kiss from Lloyd, but I guess he didn't want to do that today. I am actually. I can go get something. I have a big stack of giveaway stuff.
Well, yeah, just grab something. While you're grabbing that, I want to tell everybody,
what do you got?
Hang around, stick around. Charles is going to give something away, and it's usually a prize of unmatchable wealth. Right, Charles?
It's a kiss from me.
It's a kiss from Charles.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let me get over to... Sorry, guys. Let me get over to the honorable mentions while Charles is pulling something. We'll go ahead and play that. Does that sound good, Charles?
You can do whatever you want because you're an adult.
All right.
Let's give away this. This is a good one.
And here's lovable Beanie Boy, another wonderful Mattel-made toy. He's got a little pug nose and a great big grin. And look at his cap. You can make it spin. With Beanie Boy, you'll find there's 2.
That's a creepy
ass dog. Talk to you.
I will eat your heart.
Ich weiß jetzt, wer der Tinker ist. Urteilen Sie nicht zu vorschnell. Wer es wirklich weiß, bezahlt sein Wissen mit dem Tode. Nach dem Abstand der Giftzähne würde ich sagen von einer Mamba.
Der Zinker!
Es gibt auch Gründe.
Der Zinker!
Schlagzeile. Ich kämpfte mit dem Zinker.
A band of terrorists garbed in the robes of death, intoning a strange satanic ritual as their victims face a murderous tribunal who meet and judge in the evil hours before dawn.
I'm innocent.
The architect whose buildings collapsed and brought disaster to hundreds.
All right.
Death. The man who murdered his brother and hid the mummified body in a British museum.
No!
Death. Who are these men summoned in the middle of the night?
This is the story of an afternoon when the sun burned down and scorched the earth. When a man was crazed with desire for an unsuspecting girl. And then the awful aftermath. An afternoon when a kindly man turned into a raving maniac. You must have heard of it.
You must have read about it even in the American papers.
Our ancestors had imaginations that were truly diabolical. The Virgin of Nuremberg, the most efficacious instrument of torture. The most desirable woman.
Yes, boy.
Santo.
Santo no la explosión. That's a fun movie right there for you.
Yeah.
I mean, I dress like that when I'm not on camera, guys.
Hell yeah, you do.
You like it though, don't you?
I do like it. What's so funny, Jack?
What's going on there?
Just remembered Anniversary Day. Mr. Florence, a big bouquet. He said, take these roses, you can't go wrong, and have a smoke. This won't take long. Viceroy? That's right.
Oh, yeah, get you.
He said Viceroy tastes the way you
God,
like
I
a
love
filter
Viceroy.
cigarette to taste.
This is
Not
back
too
when
strong,
cigarettes were
not
good
too
for you.
light.
Yeah, they're
Viceroy's
so
got
good.
it.
The taste that's right.
That's right.
The ghost.
Ghost!
A young couple in love, enjoying a romantic honeymoon, enjoying the pleasure of each other's company, knowing the sublime happiness of the kiss of love. But the kiss of love is a stranger here, where only evil is good, and the only kiss, the kiss of a vampire.
Children, I brought you here because we'll have to face a problem.
The Black Zoo brings you the weirdest,
Black Zoo. It's a great movie, too.
I've never seen
of your
this.
life.
You never seen Black Zoo?
Damn lions in the house.
Yeah.
The black leopard and the
It's an interesting movie with all these animals in it. I'm sure they beat those poor animals when they do that.
Oh yeah, back in
all
the day,
honored by the
probably.
bloodthirsty cult of animal
Kind of a
worshippers.
bummer.
Their master, a man
I carry
more
around a tiger
animal
like
than
that though
human,
with me.
inhumanly cruel to other human beings.
You never needle me like a nothing.
Get ready for it, Lloyd. It's gonna happen.
Whoa. I think
Oh
it's
my
stuck.
God!
I think it's sticking, Charles. Wow.
Oh! Oh, again!
You all right?
Oh!
Damn.
Beat the shit out of that poor lady. Oh, yeah, that's a good one,
Hey,
guys. This could have been on our list. This is a big one. The Man with the X-Ray Eyes. Oh, there's so many movies this year.
X-ray eyes.
I love this part right here. It's coming up. The dancing part. He's like, whoa, whoa, girl, you lost your panties.
No, it's just my
Oh crap! Oh crap!
Interesting. I always loved that movie, and that movie has a Mandela effect story to it as well.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard the Mandela effect story of that movie?
Tell us about it, Lloyd.
I remember the ending, and I still remember this. At the end of that movie, he tears his eyes out, doesn't he? Is that what? I can't remember exactly what it was, but I remember the Mandela part. I remember what people say never existed. And I want to say he says something like, I can still see when he rips his eyes out.
I can still see!
But apparently it didn't happen exactly like that. So, I don't know, man. Look that one up, though, on your own time and figure that out. Richard Nettleton tipped us $5. Thank you very much, Rich. We appreciate that.
$5. Yes.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Brad Bingham is saying Blood Feast should have been included tonight since it was the first splatter film. Yeah, it probably should have been. We've talked about Blood Feast before.
Here's a tip to help Frightmare HQ get
more
of
about
emotes
Blood
on
Feast
Twitch.
a lot, guys. We've talked about Blood Feast when we talked about Herschel Gordon Lewis, and I'm gonna be honest with you, Blood Feast is not that good of a movie, so it's not on those.
Well, it's not. It's not, but it's not a historic. I mean, but it is a historic film.
Sure.
But we've talked about this movie so much, so it's okay that it wasn't on tonight's list.
We've talked about it a lot. I give Blood Feast its nod, for the gore in it. It's insane. It doesn't change the fact that it's not a good movie. It's just it's a historic film for groundbreaking effects and gore, but
I love it. I actually love those movies just because they're so crazy, But anyway, I digress. That is it for the night. We have gone through 1963. Fine. Well, we do have something to give away, Charles. Right? What do you got, Charles?
We're talking about plants. I got the Blu-ray of Invasion of the Body Snatchers with the limited edition slipcover. It's brand new.
Ooh. Is it mint?
It's mint
slip.
It's a mint slip.
Mint.
And I'm going to give this away to the first person who can tell me what movie I mentioned earlier that Vincent Price did the voice in. Which animated movie did I mention earlier on the show that Vincent Price did a voice in? He did voices
YouTube,
he did voices in a couple of them, but this is a specific one that I mentioned.
Okay.
You could win this.
You watching YouTube? I got Twitch.
I got it. I had. Oh, looks like Travis got it.
It does. He beat everybody.
What's he did? The Great Mouse Detective.
Awesome.
Travis is getting Invasion of the Body Snatchers with a mint slip.
A mint slip. Awesome.
Mint slip. A mint slip.
Honorable mentions go out to Dirk, Jason Hall, JRE, Neil McElhaney. They all got either got it right or they were super, super close. So JRE said Great Mouse Detective, Dirk said Mouse Detective, and Neil said The Great Mouse Detective. Travis is quick. You guys are gonna have to wake up earlier. Probably we're gonna put Travis on the back burner for the next one. So
Travis is so good, guys. Travis is so good that I have to take him away from winning things every now and then. I'm like, Travis,
yeah,
bring it down, Travis. Great year though, guys. I don't know how you guys feel. I think it was a great year, and want to thank Richard and Dirk, Jason Hall again for the tips they threw us tonight. We appreciate that 100%. But appreciate everything you guys are doing for us. Also a nice shout out to all of our Patreons. We had our Patreon show a couple days ago, and we'll be doing another one of those shortly. But I appreciate all of our Patrons. I'd like to say all of them by name, but we got quite a few now. We got like 28 of them on there. So
we do. But they're so important to us, and we appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, very important to us. Helps us with a lot of this.
JRE said that his name was above Travis's. Actually, it wasn't. It might have been on your side, but I know on my side it says Travis got it, and then Todd Lewis said I do not remember, and JRE said Great Mouse Detection.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean you were close, but you were right after Travis. So
yeah, that's how I saw
we
it.
appreciate you playing. There's always going to be more chances to win, though, guys. So just keep watching, and you'll eventually win something. I'm almost sure of it.
Heck yeah, you guys will win something. Always win something. We've always got stuff to give away here. And if you want to win more stuff, sign up as a Patreon because we give away some cool Patreon stuff. We did a Patreon box. I gave away the It's Alive original one sheet. Cynthia won that. Cynthia's out there.
You've given away several Patreon gift boxes. So yeah, come and join us, guys. $9 a month, and you get exclusive content, and you get to see us, and then you get to win prizes.
And I want to thank Charles Addison here anymore, but I want to thank Charles. Charles paid for a year in advance of our Patreon.
Awesome.
He paid up for a year. So,
I think there's been a couple of people pay for a year in advance instead of monthly.
We've had a couple
awesome.
pay a year in advance. So every time you guys do that, that's another year. We're gonna keep doing this. Yeah. It pushes it up a few more months. So, T West gave us a $9.99 super chat. Thank you, T.
Awesome. There it is. It comes up on the page there. T West tip $9.99 through super chat.
Hello, my little rooster, and my rooster loves me. I'm gonna cherish that chicken beneath the Green Bay tree.
Is everybody not happy with Charles playing this song? I've seen a couple of people complain about this song. I love it.
Why? Fine, here. Fine. Give me something else here. How about this? Hey!
Boom. All right. What else, Charles? You got anything else you want to chat about, or?
You know what? We're going to be back on next Wednesday. We'll be back on for 1964. So you guys be ready for that. And then don't forget, not this Saturday, but the following Saturday, May the 1st, is the Hearst show at Lloyd's Frightmare Collectible Store. That should be a lot of fun. I think I'll be there too. I think I'll come hang out, see how everybody's doing. So yeah, that's the next time you guys are going to see us, though, is going to be next Wednesday. We don't have a Saturday thing planned, but next Thursday is going to be the return of the Twitch Prime watch parties.
Yes.
So, and I'm going to pick the movie, first one. I'm picking a movie. I'm picking something.
Charles is going to pick it. Pick it up, Charles.
I'm going to pick it, but I'm going to put that up. So thank you guys very much. You guys are awesome, actually. It's a good year. Good year, lots of good movies to talk about. There's a lot of movies in this year that I could have talked about by themselves for like an hour. It's just it's a fun year. So appreciate it, guys.
Definitely. All right, guys. Well, I think that is all we've got. We'll see you this coming.
Another $5 chat from Dirk Jason Hall.
Oh, did we?
Yeah. What do you say?
Let me flip over and look at it. Hey, Dirk says, will Patreons be able to meet y'all at Frightmare? We ought to have a Patreon meet and greet, Charles, at the convention.
Yeah, Patreons meet me sometimes. I do our screenings, our live screenings. we do those sometimes. Right. We're around. But yeah, Patreons. We're gonna have
Patreons be able to meet y'all at Frightmare?
Yeah, anybody can meet us. If you can catch us, we're usually all over the place and going crazy. But maybe we'll have like a specific Patreon meetup at a certain time and place during the weekend.
Brad asked me to look out for some more good Universal monster movies. I got a really good like mint condition Dracula, and look at this thing. This thing's like brand new.
Thing's clean.
It's mint slip, and the Frankenstein too. That matched it. I was like, these are mint.
All right, guys. I think we're done. What do you think, Charles?
I am done because I'm actually kind of hungry. I need some food in my life.
I am too. I'm gonna go downstairs and grab something as well.
Ooh, Dirk said he's gonna join Patreon. Yes.
Oh, thank you, Dirk. Appreciate that, man.
Do it. You can watch the past Patreon shows we've done, and we'll do another one soon. They're fun.
They are fun. Well, I am already looking forward to Wednesday, and then Thursday night, like Charles said, we're going to have the next Prime Watch Party. So make sure you tune in for that. That's it, guys. That is all. Goodbye and good night to everyone. I hope you have a great evening. It has been my pleasure to spend time with you guys. Horror. All right, guys. Well, y'all have a great evening. And we will see you soon. Peace out and good night.
Hey.
Goodbye. Horror.